So, hello, once again I'm back on my old trustworthy Dell Alienware M17 R5 AMD Edition. And once again I'm recording locally and streaming today on Kick service. Let me check if the stream is working properly. Okay, nice. So yeah, maybe you have noticed this already. If you know, you know, you already know. Today I'm in a new Linux distribution. It's not Pop! OS Cosmic, but it is Fedora version 44 KDE Plasma Desktop Edition. And before I will continue, let me show you the system information through the GUI, system settings, about the system, boom, Fedora Linux 44 KDE Plasma Desktop Edition. KDE Plasma version is 6.7. I think this is absolutely new. Wayland, the kernel is 7012 something, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes SD storage space, AMD Ryzen 9 CPU, AMD Ryzen 9 6900HX, and the GPU is also an AMD Radeon RX 6800M. And let's go now to the terminal. Let me zoom in a bit. I think this is nice. So yeah, you can pause the stream and take a good look at your own pace, or later on the YouTube video. Pay attention to the screen resolution. It's full 4K, 3840 by 2160 at 120 Hz. However, as you can see, it is using scale of 1.7 or 150%, 170% if you prefer. And as you will soon see in the OBS settings, it's also downscaled in full HD. Anyway, back to the normal thing. Let's go to the OBS settings. Here we are. Video, 4K resolution, downscaled in full HD, 30 FPS. And again, I'm using hardware encoders for the audio and the video. The audio is FMPEG AAC and the video is FMPEG VAPI H.264, 8000 bitrate, and once again MKV for the file format. And with these things out of the way, let's go and check out a bit how things were from installation to... Actually, before I will say these things, let's check out, for the people who don't know, what is Fedora 44. Here we are. Fedora, it's your operating system, an innovative platform for hardware, clouds and containers built with love by you. 100% free and open source. Latest release 44. And as you can see, they have Fedora Workstation, Fedora KDE Plasma Desktop, Fedora Server, Fedora Cloud, Fedora Core OS, Fedora IoT, and also Atomic Desktops, Fedora Spins, and Fedora Labs. Miscellaneous downloads, etc. etc. Anyway, we are using today this one, Fedora KDE Plasma Desktop, the next generation personal desktop. A customizable high-quality desktop built on the latest open source technology. Trusted, powerful and easy. And of course they have plenty of good information here. Let's go and read the official KDE Plasma website. Plasma is a desktop. Use Plasma to serve the web, keep in touch with colleagues, friends and family, manage your files, enjoy music and videos, and get creative and productive at work. Do it all in a beautiful environment that adapts to your needs and with the safety, privacy protection and peace of mind that the best free open source software has to offer. And they just mentioned latest release Plasma 6.7. Plasma 6.7 brings powerful new features to KDE's classic desktop and refines its user experience to new levels. I think I read somewhere or so, or I don't recall, it has hundreds of new details here and there. I mean the KDE Plasma desktop alone. But yeah, I'm not sure, because I'm not that avid user of KDE Plasma. I'm not sure what the changes are. But anyway, that's a story for another time maybe. So here is the deal. It was very easy, of course. I downloaded the ISO, I put it on my Ventoy USB stick, no problems there. It booted up. It went into a live environment. I had the option to use it or install it, and of course I went with installation. I have to be honest, that should be perhaps the first time ever I used that kind of installer. I don't even think that Fedora Workstation Edition, GNOME basically, had that installer, but I could be misremembering that. Anyway, it was some kind of a new installer, and even after the restart, when things were installed and everything went smooth, perfect even, I had like almost a macOS-like experience before I got the KDE Plasma login. I got few questions about the user I was about to set up for myself. And then I got the KDE Plasma login, and then I was greeted, I think it was this welcome center, this one. Welcome to Fedora. This operating system is running Plasma, a free and open source desktop environment, yada yada yada. And then it has a few options for you here to read and understand. Yeah, it uses Discover for software, both Flatpaks and system apps. That wasn't expected. I didn't expect it. I think it's the first time ever actually that I come across a Linux distribution, myself at least, that it uses Discover in order to install. If another distro had it, I don't recall. Anyway, and then about sharing your information, enable third-party repositories, I did it. And yeah, basically this was it. From downloading to install and running it for the first time, it was absolutely easy, smooth, no problem, no surprises. After I was done, I think it popped a message saying that I have plenty of updates. That caught me by surprise, because when I opened Discover, it was like about 5 something gigabytes. I could remember wrong, but I think this was actually bigger than the ISO itself. I think the ISO was about 3.5 gigabytes, but maybe I misremember. Anyway, but yeah, 5 point something gigabytes, the updates. However, it was pretty fast, and I was on the desktop after restart. I think pretty fast. All in all, it went pretty fast. The most important thing is that I didn't have any weird things happening, at least in installation and setup, etc. However, as I was trying to install and configure my apps and few other things around the system, I had like a Kwin crash. I had some kind of what was it? Yeah, I don't recall. I had 3 different crashes. One was when I tried to use the built-in camera app that the system has. So here is the deal. Basically, this is the default look, more or less. The panel is on the bottom. I just placed my Vivaldi browser here and the console, the terminal. And more or less, this is the default state of the system. It had some apps that I never saw before. Of course, I installed my usual Flatpak apps, that goes without saying, but it had some apps that I saw for the first time, like the camera, for example, this one. I don't recall if I have come across before with Dragon Player, Eliza, and even if I had, I don't remember them. And yeah, a few surprises here and there. Hopefully I will not have any more crashes with Kwin or otherwise, but on the other hand it may be expected because it's a new version of KDE Plasma, so from 6 point release it went up to 6.7, so yeah, we'll see, but hopefully not too many problems will come up. Anyway, I will take the panel now on the top of the screen. I'll do it now like this, and for the rest of the stuff I will do it offline, no need to waste time with this. I just can't stand the panel in the bottom. I wanted you to see almost the press installation look of the system. Of course I changed the desktop and wallpaper, it had its own default, I switched to this slideshow. However, I'm using the system's pictures for now. I didn't bother with my images just yet. And the other thing that, as you can see, is just a slight customization with how the Windows decorations are on the left side, exactly like I want them to be. Somewhat customized dolphin, and of course terminal. I switched it to fish shell, and I installed fastfetch. So yeah, I think all in all a good first contact with the system. As you saw already and you are watching, I have my effects and everything in the OBS. That went well as well. And yeah, Vivaldi and the usual apps, as I said before, installed already. And this one, I'm 100% sure you can update both the system's apps and the Flatpaks. Good, I must say. Yeah, I think this is it for now. Yeah, the usual aspects of keyboard layouts is here, no problem. I'm trying to think of things. Oh yeah, I reminded myself. Global theme. It has this Fedora and Fedora Dark pre-installed, so it wasn't Breeze Dark. Maybe same thing with few customizations by Fedora. I'm not sure. But these two were a new thing for me, for a KDE environment, I mean. And I'm not sure about Breeze Twilight, if I have seen this before. Possibly I have, but I don't recall. So yeah, I have plenty of work to do, as you may imagine, like customizing the themes, the colors, the icons, the cursors, the wallpaper jumper, the cursor factory, pushing the system to the limits, trying DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, we'll be here in Fedora KDE Plasma Edition for a while, version 44. So yeah, first contact. Some days I just can't speak for the life of me. For a first contact, things were pretty smooth. Here's wishing for more smooth sailing, for more easygoing experiences. So yeah, without any longer, as always, thank you for everything and see you on the next one. Bye!